passion. I always get it wrong. It's backwards on the. Our next person behind the passion, this gentleman is named Sasidhar Kareti. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Very good. And Sasidhar is in India. I don't know the town. He'll let him tell you about that. Nominated by Angela B. Sprague. So thank you, Angela, and welcome to you, Sasidhar.
Thank you so much, Dominic, for having me today. And I feel so excited, and I'm a little bit nervous too. And I also grateful for the nomination and my friend Angela. So I thank you for the opportunity, actually, for the experience that I'm going to share today with the people. I believe it will help people to realize what's important in life, how to just find themselves, their passion, and how to just live with that proudly.
Yeah, I understand. And I a couple of years ago, I came up with this idea about interviewing people. I told you a little bit of my story, and came up with this person behind the passion. And I was actually nominated myself by someone, and it shocked me. And I was like, it was such an honor.
Yeah, it is.
And so, thank you for accepting the nomination, and also thank you, Angela. So your passion is about writing, and so we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. And you can be able to tell your story. Those of you who are watching or listening, you don't know what the Self-Achievement Network is about. Very simply, I'm the founder, and we're a Facebook group, and we have some subgroups around, like a kind of like a hub, right? And so I tell people that the Self-Achievement Network is an opportunity to either discover your passion, to share your passion, which is what Sasidhar is going to do, right?
Yeah.
And so discover your passion, share your passion, or to evolve. So we've got these subgroups on the outside, so people can go and they're very genre specific. So if people are into health and fitness, all of those people they can go there and do live, topic discussions. They can post, whatever they want to do, and they can share the links in the main group. This main group here, the Self-Achievement Network, is really the coveted space for us to do and honor people like Sasidhar for person behind the passion. So that's basically what we do. And then we have a marketplace, and if people do coaching or they have some type of a service that they do, they can put that in the marketplace, and all of our members can refer each other and make a little money. That's really the simple part, to evolve the passion. So that's
Yes.
it. And so Sasidhar, so tell me briefly, how did you become interested in writing? I know you were part of this whole growth hacking book, but
Yeah.
There's a bigger story. Tell us about that.
So where should I start? From the growth hacking book, or when I started my passion for writing?
That's a good question. Once upon a time.
Okay. Okay. Once upon a time, when I was 10 or 11, I guess. Yeah, I don't actually remember, 10 or 11. So I was in this 5th standard in my school. I wanted to write something because I was a total introvert back then. So you know how introverts would be. So they think a lot, they speak a little. So that happens when you think a lot and you speak little.
Yeah.
There'll be a number of thoughts going in the mind, and you can't just hold them at some point. So as a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, I had no major world-changing thoughts. I had few storylines to write or something. I used to write. I started writing back then with a story about a monster caterpillar or something. So I see that as a when I read that today, so I feel like I laugh at myself. So I started that. My father, when I asked him for a book to write all my things, and he actually got me a nice book, which is binded, and so I can just safely put them at some place and just continue. I don't know why my father actually encouraged me at first. So I came to know when we were cleaning the house during this festival season, some of these old scriptures of my father. My father was a writer the world didn't knew. Oh my God, my father was a writer I didn't know, and maybe that is what coming into my DNA as well. Maybe that is why I wanted to express things.
Okay.
So when I started writing, I felt that I felt that it's a superhero dress and a superhero suit that I have, so that I can have the power of expression. So that really motivated me to write more about what I feel and what how the things go. As the age, as I started to grow, and my passion also started to take shapes from stories to a physical blog. So what we know as a blog today is a digital platform, like a digital website where we write about things, right? I used to have a book with the name Discovery, and of course that was inspired from the Discovery Channel.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, and I used to write about anything, or anything that I see, like an observation with a title and with some kind of a content handwritten. And I used to number them 1 2 3 4 like that every day. I had this intense passion, I have to write something. So I used to get that urge to write something every day. And when I even make the toys, when I repair these broken toys, when I make a new toys out of the broken toys, I used to note down the procedure, not like a procedure, just like a blog. I did not even know that was called a blog. So I enjoyed that. So till schooling, freedom will be there to explore your childhood, and some kind of you don't have to care about anything till schooling. And when you complete your schooling, the real life starts there. So I had to choose a platform, I have to choose a course of study where I even forgot what I wanted to become. So
Hmm.
while I was leaving the school, so at this farewell party, where people have these books, little books called slam books, where they exchange their thoughts about each other. So they'll just keep them as a memory. Even for today, most of the people do that.
Hmm.
So that was before digital era has begun in India, in the countryside of the India. So I wrote, everybody has wrote like, I wanted to be a Superman, I wanted to be a liar, I wanted to be a space guy, and I want to be that and this. And I never thought that I would become something, but I always wanted to be like, I don't know what I want to become, but I wanted to be a writer no matter what I'm doing for my life, for
Okay.
living. So I felt so dumb after writing that for the next 2 years, because I should have write something boasting about myself. I wanted to be some wrestler. I wanted to be a very rich businessman in the world. So I felt dumb for 2 years. After 2 years, and I got to enter this engineering program. So in these 2 years, and I also developed my interest into technology. I got
Okay.
to get my hands on technology, and so that put me into engineering. I chose computer sciences, and I was a very curious kid. I was a very curious student. Everybody in my class knows that I'm a techie. I have become a techie, but without a computer at my home. And that was fun. Sometimes when people bring their laptops to repair stuff or to recover data and to do things, and I used to do that just like that. So because that was a curiosity, and one more thing is that that wasn't my system. If anything goes wrong, I'm not responsible. I'm not the one who's going to pay for the repair. That was my free laboratory. So whoever comes to me with a problem, that would become my free laboratory, with no responsibility of breaking stuff and all. So it went on. In my third year of engineering, the real life happened to me. So till third year of engineering, I did not flunk a subject. I was not the top ranker. I was neither the least ranker. I was somewhere in the middle.
Hmm.
So in my third year, I got this deadly jaundice, and I had to be hospitalized, and I had to spend my life there for 10 days, and I had to even spend 2 days of my hospitalized time in ICU, in observation for breathing and all. I got this. I was like, oh my god, what's happening to my life? Is this gonna be the end of life? And one thing I'm proud of still is that I never took that seriously. But that was deadly. That was whatever I got was a deadly. And I, after I was taken to ICU, I started to think, okay, ICU is not the easy room to go into. So when doctors are putting me into ICU, there is something serious going on in my life with my health. And I started thinking, what if I die tomorrow? Will I just die satisfied, or will I become a ghost and haunt people with unsatisfied desires, right? So that's how ghosts become, right? So I was like, okay, so if I die tomorrow, what will I want to do? I'm already into tech. I love tech. I can't leave it. I wanted to do this writing. What happened to my thoughts? What happened to my all the aspirations that I had in my schooling?
Mm-hmm.
Then I started thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm into tech, and I'm into this writing as well. So I can't leave both of them. I can't just choose one and leave one of them. So why not just mix them up, amalgamate both of them into a new thing? Then I started with this blogging stuff. Blog Creating blogging with tech and writing is it's a great opportunity of amalgamation of writing and tech. I was a tech blogger. I became a tech blogger, and my blog, I started with a name called Ask Me for a Solution, because that's what I like. That's what I like to do. I like helping people with tech, and I named it like Ask Me for a Solution. I started learning from it. I didn't know anything about it. I started learning from what I was doing, and after a few days, it has grown up a little, and I have learned a lot of things about blogging and technology, because blogging gives you a lot of time to research on stuff, on whatever the niche that you are in. So that gave me a lot of time to research, get some knowledge about things. And in 2015, I think we have a very similar important timelines in our lives. In 2000,
Here we go.
yeah, it's a parallel universe. Yeah,
Yeah.
while life was happening to me, it was happening to somebody else like you. So in 2015, I got a chance to uh, apply for this national-wide blogging competition. So I was not interested because I was not into that competition. I was not confident enough. My friends who know me, my fellow bloggers, my fellow friends who I actually made, who I'm working with till now. So they were like, no, come on, Jesse, you can do that. You have to submit it. You can get that. We have that confidence in you. I was like, okay, if these guys have confidence in me, why not just try it? I submitted one blog post from my blog. I've written the blog post according to their theme and submitted it right 1 hour before the closing time. 1 hour before the
One
closing time.
hour before the
Yeah,
deadline.
1 hour. Yeah, 1 hour before the closing time.
Okay.
And I was not hopeful. I did that to respect their confidence in me. I did that. So it happened after a few days. I went to Bangalore. So Bangalore it's a Silicon City of India.
I've heard that one.
Yeah. So I went to Bangalore to work on this a development project, software development project with a team, and I worked there for 3 months, and I came back to my hometown. So I just wanted to fall back into this blogging, and I just wanted to continue my career in blogging and writing. I restarted this blogging stuff again. After 1 week, I got this news that I have won the competition.
Gosh.
Yeah, it's a
Really?
right like 10 p.m. In the night, and I didn't care about it because there are a lot. I know about spam. So when I'm a techie, I know how people just lure people with the spam messages that you have won like $1 million, £1 million, something like that, right? So I was like, when I showed it to my dad, he was like, come on, it would be another spam message. My dad just confirmed that it was a spam. So I was like, okay. By then I had this inspiration from one of my friend in whose life was going some dramatic, and that inspired me. The whatever the happenings that were happening in his life, that inspired me. I was in a thoughts of writing a book. So I was gathering stuff. I was synopsizing all the things that from his lifetime, and I was gathering stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, excuse me. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. 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 Yeah. Sorry. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. And I was doing that back then. So this email actually has boosted my confidence in writing a book. Writing a book is a big thing. You have to do a lot of things. It was my first book, and it was not even my story. It was the story of my friend from from whom I got inspired to write a book.
Mm-hmm.
So I started writing the book. I took that, that whatever the prize that I got, the first prize, and I was like, oh my god, I should do that. I'm so eligible. So all the natural forces are telling me to do this, to pursue this. This is the right time,
Mm-hmm.
and I started writing a book. And with that price thing, nobody cared about it in my town because nobody knows what it is, what the value of it. Being a number one writer for that competition all around India is like surpassing the best bloggers and best writers from Kolkata, best bloggers and best writers from Mumbai, best bloggers and best writers from Delhi, and best bloggers and best writers from Bangalore.
Mm-hmm.
So I was from a small town guy who barely lives in a city that has like 7 kilometer radius. Not even city, it's a small town. So that boosted me something like, oh my god. So no matter where I live, I am a global citizen now. So I have to just accomplish my dreams. I have to. This is what I'm doing because the thought that I gave to write a book, it was to aid a person, to help a person with willpower
Mm-hmm.
to beat cancer. So the person, so my friend's girlfriend was actually diagnosed with lung cancer, and I never know her, I never met her, and he never let me meet her. So when I wanted to do that, I just wanted to do and talk to her and put some positiveness into her life. Just because after that hospitalization time, I was not the same person. I started to help people with things also
So my
uh,
friend.
couns- with counseling and all. So it started to happen to me, and I don't know how people get that wisdom when they are on the deathbed or when they are on that critical life threatening hospital bed. I started to help people with that. People started to feel good with that. So I
Mm.
just wanted to do that to that person, my friend's girlfriend. And as I have never met her, I got only chance to write her something, a letter, right? So I can't write how he feels about her in just 1 page or 2 pages. It went on like for 360 pages. And who reads a letter with 360 pages? No one. Why can't it be a book?
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
I did that, and by the time I get a chance to, I thought like I would consult anyone. I would just make it reach when she was in India, but she came there to US, uh, to Texas. She was joined in one of the top cancer hospitals there, and she was being diagnosed with this chemotherapy and all. And I had my chances down to reach this book to her, and I tried my best. I just wanted to reach it to that hospital at least, so that they will address that person. So, oh, somebody has sent some package to you. I don't know if they deliver it or not. I don't know what the terms and conditions or the privacy things that they go on in the hospital. But I just want the book to reach to that hospital first. I was planning on that, and suddenly one day she came back to India to see her grandmother who was on the deathbed.
Okay.
And my friend actually took that book with him. I gave him like two copies, one for her and one for me with her signature. So I just wanted that as a reward. All the reward that I wanted is that her feedback or her autograph on that, for whom I wrote it. So
Mm-hmm.
if I'm writing it for someone, if that reaches to someone, that will be the best thing that can happen in anyone's life. And that happened. She loved it. She loved the book, and she was like, "Okay, I don't know if I would live or not. This book is gonna make me live forever." And ask your friend that I'm so thankful for whatever he's done for me. And my friend, he was my close friend since my schooling, and he never thanked me enough. He never thanked me. He never thanked me in his words. He was like, thank you so much for doing this. I would never able to do anything or given anything to her as a gift like this. You did that to her. She was so happy. She was so accomplished. And by the time I received that book, I still have it. Let me just show you. I still have it. Yeah, this one. Un-
Unconditional,
un-
uncommitted.
yeah. So I have this book with, she has written something for me, a message in this book, and this is my accomplishment. I
Hmm.
take that as a writer, as a first time writer. So I did that for a purpose, and it reached that person, and she gave me a token of appreciation. What could a writer with a purpose can take as an achievement? That I feel that I am, oh my god, I achieved so many things.
Hmm.
This is what. So from that, I started to believe. So when you start to do something with your whole heart for someone or for yourself, you don't know how things work, but the whole nature will start to help you
Hmm.
to get the things done. So this is an inspiration that I get in my life, and my hospitalization time that taught me what's important in your life and what not to actually consider when you are wanted to become something. Why not become something? It's one life. You were not even sure about the other one. It's one life, and you don't know. You might be born as a chair or table next life.
It's, you never know. Some people believe that. But whatever.
Yeah, oh, we don't know, right? So I believe that. So why not make it life a bigger? So from the introversion times where I was, I just believed in minimalism. I was like, why live minimal when you can do so many things?
Hmm.
Why stick with one passion, writing, tech, and inspiring people, inspiring, helping businesses with stuff? Why just one when you can do more? Why just one? Why just stick with all that 30 years of your 40 years of your productive life?
Hmm.
Do that, and when you get older, and you shouldn't be thinking like, oh my god, I've lost so much of my life. Oh my god, I've missed so much of my life in my office. I've done nothing in my life other than just going to office, coming back, and being with family.
Hmm.
So, so that I got that conclusion from my experiences, and that made me a writer. I've contributed. I am a proud contributor to this growth hacking book two, version two. I met wonderful people online, and I met another person. You, oh my God, you are an amazing person. That when you were telling me your story, I was like, wow, how can a human from that phase come to this phase? My story was like, okay, I was a normal kid, transform, something like that. But you are at the bottom. Your story was amazing. It really inspired me. I'll take so many lessons from that for sure.
Thank you. And life is lessons. That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I think. And you take your lessons. You either do something about them.
Hmm.
Some people they have to. Things come up over and over and over because they don't let the lesson sink in. They don't get it, right? It's like
Yeah.
somebody that steals. And this is like when I was younger. I would just steal, and then I would steal some more, and then I would steal some more. And then my life was a mess. And I was like, when are you going to let
Yeah.
yourself get that lesson?
And
It's not okay to steal.
yes,
And,
I the hmm, the friends, some of my friends and people that I counseled personally. So I don't do that commercially yet. So I like people helping people to find their energies, to find their confidence in life, and I help them. I would say, I would not say I'm a professional counselor, but I'm a listener, I would say.
hmm.
That will help them, and I'll put up with some. I act like their second mind, giving them the thoughts, and so they'll feel good. So there were people, my friends, who thinks, most of them thinks like, why things only happen to me?
Right.
Why me? So why me? All the bad things are happening only to me, but the whole world is so perfect. Why only me? Am I a mole to this universe or what?
Like I said, it's
Hmm.
boils down to the choices.
Yeah.
And when we don't have a direction, when I didn't have a direction, I was making choices that were just, causing all kinds of fallout, if you will, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's this is the way that life is, and then when people don't see it, they they can't see it. I mean, this is one of the biggest issues.
Yeah.
In the book that I wrote, um, it starts off in the beginning, and I talk about there's only two different types of people in the world, and there are people that are self-aware, and then there are people who are unaware of their self-awareness. So it's what it boils down to. So as I was younger, and I know you need to tell your story, but when I was younger, I was very somehow got to be the unaware person, and I was making all kinds of choices that were really screwing up my life. And so it really boils down to that. But your story is amazing. I mean, you started as a 10 and 11-year-old kid, right? Started writing, and you got joy from that, and you found, some sort of satisfaction, and you can continue to do it. You got recognized as a blogger. You've got
Awarded.
won the big prize, right? And it was funny because I know what you're saying about those emails, because I had one that changed my life, and I thought it was spam, big time. And I followed through with it, and I ended up living in Egypt for 5 years because of that.
Oh.
So you never know, right? But congratulations for that, and your
Thank you.
book,
Thank
this
you.
amazing story that wow, you changed people's lives because of this book, Unconditional,
I'm committed.
Uncommitted.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't even know what the backstory. I mean, I understand the story, but how'd you come up with the title? Is there a
Yeah, so it's so related. Unconditional is what the girl gives to my friend. The love that she gives is unconditional love, so she doesn't expect anything from this guy. And this guy, my friend, of course, introverts have introverts friends. So back then from schooling, so he was a crazy guy who likes to live life like anything. He's a guy type of guy who spends over experiences over material. So there are, just like you said, there are another two types of guys in this world, two types of people. So one is who spends over material things, and two on experiences. He's the guy, second type of guy. So he was just afraid to commit in a relationship. He was that was his first actually relationship, and he did not commit to it, but yet he did all the things, he did all the best things a partner can do for his partner. So all the best, all the care, love, care, and concern, and even her parents. Just like for in India, unlike other countries, India, when you see your girl with her boyfriend, it's a great taboo for the parents. So they'll just freak out. Oh my God, my daughter is, roaming around with some other guy, and it's oh my God, what happens if someone sees? So they never felt that. He has got amazing parents, and they accepted him as much, with the same kind of a love that this girl has accepted him into her life.
Mm-hmm.
So that inspired me. Her character inspired me. Her parents inspired me. I used to counsel my friend all through the journey. And it was a great experience handling a person without knowing someone, and you just have to pass through the inspiration through this my friend. I have to be just keeping him courageous enough to battle through that cancer stuff that she is going through. And it gave me so much of experience and satisfaction. And sadly, we don't have her right now with us, and she was supposed to meet me one last time back in 2 years ago in August. She was just about to come next week, and she got this overdosage of this chemo, and she couldn't take it. So yeah, and I still have that regret. I should have met her once in my life, and tell her how I felt, that how she actually inspired me to come up with the book. So it's a big thing for me being a writer and being a aspirant writer from my childhood. And if I get some inspiration to write a book, So when I was not confident enough, and I get an inspiration, so it means a lot of things. It means a
Mhm.
thing for me for to write a first book. And yeah, things happen in life, and even though when that happens, we have to, just like you said, life is all about lessons. So that gave me a lesson not to waste time what you wanted to become, and I took that lesson. And after 4 years of my engineering, I took this MBA program. I wasn't able to afford back in when I finished my engineering. And after 4 years of engineering, after I released this book, after this happened, I released a book, and I realized the importance of time in this world. And I just don't want to waste any more years of time waiting for some big money into my life so that I can do a MBA program from some big college. I took some this MBA program from a normal college, and I just don't want to waste my time. And that was amazing. Everything that you just encounter in your life is a signal for you to take a move, take a decision of your life. If you miss that, you'll have to wait for another one.
Mhm. Mhm. Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've had a great journey so far. You're a young guy too.
Yeah. Thank you.
You've achieved a lot in your time so far. So okay, um, so now what part of India? You said you're in the east side.
East coast, yeah, east, south, southern, south part of the east. Like it's a near Bay of Bengal.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you this is where you grew up, or this is a different area?
This is the same town I grew up. I was born. I was here since I was born.
Okay. Okay, so take us back to your childhood when, as far back as you can remember. What are some of the memories that you have, you know, as a 1, 2 year old, 3 year old, let's say, yeah, 3, 4, 5. What do you remember?
It was my house was we had just this house with little tiles. We had a little house back then. I still remember in my what I did in my fourth year, fifth year. I had a good childhood memory. Oh, so back then we were actually a late kids to my parents. We were born after 14 years of their marriage. 14 years. Oh my God, they waited so much for me.
Right.
And man, when my parents were so happy, it was all good until I was 8, right? So yeah, just a second. Anna, వెళ్ళిపో నువ్వు వెళ్ళిపో వెళ్ళిపో okay okay, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah. So I was actually uh, so okay, so my parents were just waiting for me, and everything was so good till I was 8. Okay, so this happened, and my mother got diagnosed with the breast cancer.
Mm.
And that was the time I was an introvert. I was not that intelligent kid. Okay, I was not that I was a dumb kid, I would say. I would not even know where to walk if they're laying a new layer of the road. Okay, so that was happening, and my parents have shifted to Chennai for the treatment,
Hmm.
and they had to take on, they had to be there for like 9 months. I don't know. I have to be there at home with my 60-year-old grandma, and me and my sister used to stay there at home, and it was a hard time. That was the first hard time in my life where I have learned so many things. I changed my school back then, right at the time when my mother left us for Chennai. My father and my mother left us for Chennai. Okay, so that actually gave me so much of pain, and I was bullied at school just because I was an introvert. I was bullied. I was already. Uh, so yeah, that's perks of and being an introvert. You have to bear all those things.
Yeah, I think, at some level we all got bullied because
Hmm.
that's what we do as kids, we bully people because we're
Yeah.
learning to live in the world, and next thing you know, I mean, I've bullied a few kids in my life. They,
Uh,
But yeah, I mean, okay, it's a rough time. Your mom. Yeah.
And that was happening. And back then, when I have to, when I come back home, I have no one to talk about it. So I wasn't that bonded enough with my grandma, just as much as I did with my mother and father back then.
Hmm.
So I used to just take this pain a lot. Oh my God, that was I don't know. That felt like anything. So
Hmm.
my mother battled with cancer for an year, and she couldn't make it at the end. So yeah, I'm pretty sure she, whatever the big star that I am seeing in the sky right now, so that
Mm.
is her shining over me every night and day. Yeah,
Okay. So your mom didn't make it.
yeah, she
Yeah.
couldn't make it.
Hmm. Yeah, that's sad. I know. Yeah, same thing happened to my dad in 2011. He got cancer, but
Oh,
he
I'm
was
sorry to know.
he was in his 70s, 74. So he did a lot, but he got the. Remember when he worked in construction? What's that stuff when you breathe from the insulation?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
He got that, and that's what caused his cancer. But I mean, this is just at 11 or
Okay.
9 years old, 8, 9 years
Yes.
old is very, very complicated. That's very, very
Okay.
hard.
It's a pretty common issue in US, I guess. That's mesothelioma. What was that?
Yes,
Was it right? Yeah.
that's exactly right. Yeah,
Asbestos.
asbestos. Yes,
Yes. Yeah.
and
Mhm.
he loved his job, and he
Huh.
always said, even though I have this, I wouldn't change it because he had so much fun while he was doing his work, and he was, you know, he just loved it. But yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine. My mom is still alive, and so I can't even
Hmm.
imagine losing my mom yet. But that's tough.
Huh.
At 8 years old.
Huh.
So what are you doing now? What kind of work are you doing now?
So, I haven't left writing. So I'm into writing. I help people with the content for web, and I'm also writing on few titles on my own. So one might be coming up next year soon after this growth hacking book releases.
Hmm.
So and I have few things going on with my life. Like I'm also working on this YouTubing stuff. I started presenting myself on YouTube. I was a shy kid, camera shy kid, and oh my God, I was so excited when Angela nominated me. I was like, oh my God, I am so camera shy. How can I do that?
Hmm.
So I'm learning it. I'm learning new verticals, where I can just excel myself, and I'm just exploring myself. As I told you, why live minimal when you can do so many things in your life?
Hmm.
So I'm doing that. I love helping people with tech. I love hearing to people's problems, and I love helping them with their with things. People feel like whatever I say, whatever I listen to them, whenever I listen to them, they feel like I'm helping them. So
Hmm.
that I feel so good after I'm sorry, listening to it. So it's a great feeling, when you help someone come out of a misery or something from your mind. Of course, not physically, you can't do anything. So
Hmm.
from your mind. So when you give them a thought, a direction, just like you got from one of your just admirers. So when you can give something like that, that would you might have had many experiences helping people out and just taking the satisfaction of helping them. So I do that. I am doing that right now, and I also intend to continue my journey in writing and become a famous writer. I wouldn't say, but a satisfied writer.
Okay, satisfied is good.
Satisfied writer, because
Yeah,
that's what.
that's really what it
Yeah.
boils down to, right? If you're satisfied with what you're doing. So, are you still dabbling in technology?
Yeah.
What kind of stuff do you do? I mean, you're working solving problems with technology still?
Yes, solving problem with technologies. I do programming. I do. I help with startups with the technological architectures, like what technologies to choose for the projects, and what technologies to do in terms of scalability, business scalability. For example, some people want, some people have this business idea, they want to start today, and they don't take it. They don't think about it in the long term manner. So I tell them, if you start with this technology, the limitations will stop you from right at this point of business.
Sure.
So right, so you don't want to do that. You want this expandability scope. You will have to spend a lot on this to reconstruct everything. So I help with that. I help
Hmm.
people with that. And yeah, I forgot to mention, so I actually regret that from forgetting. I met a mentor who helped me a lot, who encouraged me, who helped me a lot. If I have to say in one word, uh, yeah, it happened back in 2013 14 at that time. And if I have to say one word, if my father gave me legs, my mentor gave me shoes to walk in comfort.
That's great. You're a wise man too.
Yeah, thank you.
That's really true. I mean, that's what we meet people and they definitely put the shoes on the feet, or they give us the shoes to walk in. Right. That's great.
Yeah,
I like that. I'll remember that. I'll quote you.
yeah, thank you.
Oh, that's great. So the startup thing is something that like you work on that like every day, or is this something that people come to you and ask you about? Or,
Yeah, people come to me and ask me about it from my network, common contacts. Uh, Today, as of today, network is your net worth. Just like if you have a good network, you have a good business with it.
Mhm.
So many people doesn't know use social media for different unpurposeful purposes, so they don't use it for purposefully. I would say that the social media network that I have, the friends network, so I have a beautiful network of friends on every other social media, and that gives me a chance to explore and share my thoughts. So there'll be a wiser man than me, and there'll be wiser, intelligent than me. They'll be having a different circle of life they've come from, sorry, and that from the locations that they have come from. And it's a different experience when you talk about that connections, that all the, not even the business, you learn so many things from your life, from
Mm,
their life, from happenings, from their things, so many knowledge. So that's how, if you call me a wise man, you should give credit to all those people who are connected to me over my social network.
that's how it works. Somebody said to me a long time ago, it's like there's not no such thing as an original thought.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's true.
Yeah, it's true. And I believe in originality. Yeah, I believe in that. Being original is the best thing that you can do for your life.
Right. It's true though. I mean, most of us, when it gets down to the nitty gritty of it, we're all just repeating what we've heard
Mhm.
somewhere. And but anyway, it's all good, man. It's all good. So where do you see yourself in, let's just, couple of years? I mean, where are you headed?
I will be releasing a couple of titles. I won't make it late. So I'll be intensely working on the my two titles that I'm currently working on. So I'll be releasing them. I'm pretty much sure about making a wave in the industry with my next book that is coming up. So yeah, I believe I would talk to you again on the self achievement network, or if I get a chance, an opportunity. If yeah, that was an hidden request I'm making. You might take that.
Okay, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that if I'm understanding correctly, I mean, there's a lot of people that would come to you inside this network for for some ideas, a consultation, whatever, for business. I
correct.
mean, it's that's what the network is really here for.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all good stuff. So you're married, children? No,
No, I'm happily single.
happily single. Okay,
Yeah.
great. And so, what do you do in your spare time? I mean, you get done with the day, and you just like, you go hop on a bicycle, or you get on a scooter, or you go hiking. I mean, what are some of your hobbies? What do you like to do?
Yeah, I am a walker. I would, even I have a bike, I have a scooter. I will just love to walk. I have like 8 to 10 pairs of shoes. I'm a shoes guy because I love to walk.
Uh-huh.
I,
Okay.
I take a walk. Even I when I was used to when I used to work in Bangalore, so I used to take long walks.
Hmm.
If there was anything like 5 kilometers or 6 kilometers, I won't take any transport. So I'll just take a walk, looking around, observing things. I like observing things.
Yeah.
slowly, and that was an amazing experience. When you just go and just watch out things, what's happening in the world, all the world that will be running around, that will look like that will be like going in slow motion in front of your eyes, everything. Oh my god, what's happening in your so this is all happening with the world, so everybody is so obsessed with this rat race thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think of it. I call it. I don't call it the rat race. I call it the whirlwind.
Uh-huh.
So I don't want to think of myself as a rat. I mean, I guess I am. I
Uh-huh.
like to play tennis, and I think of myself as a dog. And people are like, "What are you talking about? How do you get a dog with tennis?" I'm like, "Well, in my previous life, I think I was a dog. I play tennis. I love chasing these balls."
Wonderful.
Yeah, I'm a dog. Oh well. Okay. All right. So, you have like special things that you like to do. Are you a good cook? Since you're single, I mean, this is one of the
Mhm.
questions I like to. Everybody loves food, right? So
Yeah.
you're cooking yourself, or you're ordering on Uber or whatever you call it, Uber Eats.
Yeah. If you ask me about cooking, my score for cooking on the scale of 10 would be -5.
Maybe there's a correlation between being
Uh-huh.
single and not having and not knowing how to cook or enjoy it.
Yeah, yes, correct. And women are so much particular about men who knows cooking these days. Yeah, maybe that is a reason why I'm still single.
That's funny. I mean, my wife and I, we cook a lot, and it's not really like a competition, but I'm a very good cook just because I have many years of practice, right? But it's all good. And okay, so let's pretend that the whole universe right now is watching this interview. Okay, you telling
Okay.
your story, everybody on the planet, the whole of humanity, right, is watching. So you have everybody's undivided attention. As a writer, you have lots of interesting thoughts that you take from here and put on paper. What would you like to share? What message would you share with our humanity?
Wow, that's a great thing, but I would love to share a message. And yeah, so dear world, so I would tell you to consider this one point. The whole world, since from the beginning, we're running to a singularity where everyone wants to become someone else. So everyone wants to be the same. Everyone wants to tuck in with the same suit, the same cars, the same buildings, villas, and all. Okay, so stuff matters. Okay, material matters in life, but the life that you are living, so you will have some passions in your childhood, because you never know what's coming up in life. When so life won't happen to you when you're a kid, right? So when you want to live a real life with happiness, do not measure your happiness with material, and do not, even if it is a material that really gives you happiness, and do not measure it or compare it with others. So if you have like a brand new luxurious sports car, do not compare it with someone else's car. So just enjoy the ride and be original always. Originality is what is lacking. The whole world is lacking. If you be original, that will help you to succeed in your personal life as well as in your career.
Mm.
So this is a wisdom that I got from my hospital bed, guys. And you don't need to go to the hospital bed to get this wisdom, and it's for free now. You can watch it here, and you can get that.
That's great.
Yeah.
So they call you sassy.
Yeah.
Sassy. Okay. Well, sassy in the English version, sassy meaning SASSY, not SASI. Sassy meaning smart aleck or whatever. Yeah. Have you traveled? A
Little.
little bit, yeah. If I could,
Yeah,
if
little.
I gave you a free ticket right now, go anywhere in the world,
Hmm.
where would you go?
Anywhere at one place?
One time. Yeah, yeah, one place. I mean, is there a special place you would like to go see?
Okay, I would take a longest flight that I can take, and I'll just drop there. And I don't even bother about coming back because I'll be coming back or on walk or bike or taking hikes or something. That'll be a great experience coming back to home after taking a long flight, the longest flight that I can take. I'll take that. Yeah.
Wait a minute now. Okay, so if you take the longest flight that you could take, you leave the airport there in
Hmm.
India. The longest flight that you could take is all the way around back to the same.
No, not like that. Not like that. Not circle. I mean, like this.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Oh, that's great. Traveling is great. I mean, I think it's one of the things that I've been very, very fortunate to have created in my life is my ability to travel and see things. And so, yeah, go see the world. It's great stuff out there.
yeah, I
Absolutely.
will.
Yeah. And so how do we reach you? I mean, I know on Facebook, everybody has the connections, right? But is there, you mentioned your blog, is there a link to that you could post for us so we could take a look at your writing
Yeah, yeah. Where can I post it?
in this thread when we're done?
Okay, when we're done, I will post it. And you can get me by my name, Sasidhar Kareti, and Google recognizes me as an author. So by that, you will have my Facebook ID,
Hmm.
Twitter, Instagram, and whatnot. Come on, I'm on every other stupid app. I I love testing apps. I love testing these UI UXs. I have a habit of testing apps. I don't test it professionally, but I enjoy testing it.
Hmm.
Using them if they are purposeful, if they're not purposeful, like that. So I want every other app by the name Sasidhar Kareti. And I've recently come up with this name. So as I believe in originality, so I believe myself, I named myself as Sasi Man, and people call me that. Yeah.
Hey, it's good stuff.
So whom I can only be. So Sasi Man can be only, if Sasi Man has to be a superhero suit, that can only fit to me. So that's
Hmm.
why it's Sasi Man. If you want to, if that comes to you, you'll become Dominic Man.
Dominic, man. Yeah, I know you're going to laugh, but I'm assertive, man.
Oh,
You know this word,
yeah.
assertiveness?
Yes, yes. Wow.
Impressive.
Yeah, so I have met another superhero today.
That's right. I'm
Uh,
a superhero in my own mind,
yeah.
aren't we? Oh, you're great, Sassy. It's such a pleasure to meet you. I
Thank you so much.
really want to have you come, tell us some more about some of the technology things that you're working on because it's really interesting. And I think there's a lot of people that are curious about things like that. And it'd be great to hear some of the stories that you're like. Just the thing about the apps, I'm already curious to know. You know,
Uh-huh.
it's great
Yeah.
stuff.
So today's, if any software developers, app developers are watching this, so this is for you. My observation: every other app, every other social network apps, if you come about these social networking apps, they'll all becoming, yeah, coming to one singularity. Like every app has this stories thing, every app has this update thing, every app has this live going live, every app has everything. So if every app has everything, why would I use so many apps?
That's a good question. I was thinking the same thing. Like,
So it was not the same before. It was not the same. Twitter has its own different unique features. Instagram has its own unique features and market, and Facebook has its own unique features and market, and Snapchat has its own unique features and market. And if you take any other network, so it has its own market. So if you take history of Orkut, you might have known Orkut from Google. So it has been taken over by Google, and they made it as Google Plus, if you
mhm,
remember. So that Google Plus Orkut was so good back then with its own architecture. The only feature that made people shift to Facebook was that in Orkut, if you visit someone's profile, they'll get to see who visited it.
mhm.
So on that, stalking wasn't possible on Orkut. So people are stalkers. Of course, on the other side of the screens, people are stalkers. They love stalking people. So on Facebook, it wouldn't happen.
Mhm.
You can
Right.
check out any number of profiles, and that's why people have started shifting to Facebook. After that, Orkut accepted its what defeat by copying the features of Facebook.
Interesting. Wow.
That made it down. Yeah, that made it down, and it has become Google Plus. And initially, Facebook was so worried about that transition that they were, oh my God, Google is not a small company to deal with, and if they are coming up with a social network, we have to fear about that. But it never happened. It never happened. Google Plus was the same, the copied version of whatever the Facebook was, and people got in. Okay, it's just a rebranded version of Orkut. So they just made it another Facebook. Who we don't use it. We don't give a damn about it. So they stopped using it. At some point, Facebook won the race because it has expanded its business in many verticals, not just with the social network. So in that perspective, if you want to battle into singularity, the stronger one always wins.
Interesting. Wow.
If you're not the stronger one, if you're a startup guy, if you're doing some startup app, do it on your own. It will do it with our own ideas, fresh ideas that will definitely bring it up. For example, if during this pandemic the usage of Zoom app has been increased, so why do you think people are preferring Zoom over Google Plus? I mean Google Meet or Cisco networks or many other things, GoToMeeting. There are many other networks, right? There are many other software applications. Why are people switching over this Zoom? Even they are not even considering this video calling on Facebook. Why? Because it was easy, it was unique in its own standards, and it was the same from the beginning. So it has this originality I'm talking about, not just with the persons. This originality also applies to the businesses. So if you take that as a business ethic, all the developers who are watching this will help you a lot. So they have become the first of their kind. So of course not first of their kind, the first of their kind with their own unique features. So the other meetings like even Google Plus, Skype have started to copy their strategy, their UI. And if you see some other national local applications, they have just copied down everything, just the colors. Just the colors will be different. Yeah, that happened with the applications, and everybody wants to be an entrepreneur these days, but nobody wants to be creative. That won't happen. That you can't just survive it.
I'm like sitting here glued to the TV. All right. Okay, we have to stop. It's almost 1 hour.
Yeah.
All right. So you automatically have an invitation to come back. We have a biz group, a biz planning group, right? I'd love to have you come back and we could do a live there and come up with some topics and talk.
Sure.
Yeah. That would be awesome.
Great.
Hey, Sassy, enjoy your afternoon or your evening, rather. It's almost over. Yeah. Mine's just beginning. I got more work I got to do. Thank you all for watching from all of us here in the Self.
Thank you so much, Dominic, for having me. And it was my second live. I have done a live with Angela, so it was my second live, and I hope I hope I did better and I did not bother you much.
There's no grade. It's all just about being you, being authentic.
Okay. Thank you so much, Angela, for nominating me. Thank you so much. And you are an inspiring, human being, and you inspired me with the stories. With when you were talking about when you told me that you are into Navy, I was like, oh my God, who's that? Peter Parker, Spider-Man, so, like that. Oh my God, he's a military guy. So I have huge respect for these military guys, no matter from which country they are from. So they do a lot for their countries, for the motherlands, leaving the families. And oh my God, I have a lot of respect for them.
Thank you. And me too. I mean, it's all about serving, right?
Yes, serving the nation. Yeah.
Okay, my friend. My new friend, have yourself a wonderful evening, and we will talk. I'm going to reach out and make sure you put the links in, okay?
Sure, yeah.
I got some ideas in my head, and I'm going to run them by you, okay?
Sure, yeah.
Thank you. All right.